friends, MD Vegan. Yeah, I make a breakfast today with fruit and green herbs and seeds. So we have three different kinds of ingredients here. Fruit is the main ingredient, and first we have to understand we cannot eat too much of it. Yeah, literally, big studies. We can even say that in a big study, 300 studies have been overlooked, and 15 countries have been involved. Patients or people from 50 countries. In 2012, this study has been completed, a mega study or what they call it, and they found that what's wrong, mostly wrong with our diet as most important reason for early death on all mankind is eating too little fruit. I was surprised to find that, but it's true. So both things, yeah. Most importantly, we have eat too little fruit, and we cannot eat too much fruit. So both things are the very best reason to eat a lot of fruit. 5 servings a day at least, they say, doctor recommendation, and I guess most of the people are eating really too little. Look at my mother, for example. She always has some fruit at home in a little basket on the table in the living room, and another one in the kitchen. Some oranges are there usually. Then she has an apple there and oranges, and that's basically it, what she has. And they mostly the other things. Yeah? But fruit is rare, and it is very expensive too. Yeah? So we have a good reason why people that are schooled or learned, like my mother, to household, you know, they have to buy inexpensive food and keep them, have family going. And if you do that, you do not end up eating a lot of fruit, because fruit are most expensive from all the other foods. And if you look at nuts and seeds are also even more expensive. Nuts especially, because just from the water that is put into the fruit or into the nuts before you can eat it, yeah, harvesting and everything, transportation, all the things, all this is huge in fruit and even more in nuts. So these kind of foods are considered to be expensive, and the other foods are less expensive. Yeah. Just from what you have to pay the customer. So this is why I guess my mother would not come up with any fruit. If I come to her, see her once a year, I always ask her, when she asks, what can I get for you? I said, get me some fruit, whatever it is, always. And she gets some fruit, that's nice. Yeah. So, but I, of course, since I've gone vegan and began thinking about what to eat myself, I ended up pretty early with a lot of fruit. So now I have a combination of a dessert with many fruits and greens and seeds. Yeah? Because when you eat fruit, you get basically one part of the plant. Yeah? So this fruit is defined scientifically as the part of the plant that is bearing the seeds. So all plants have one part that bears the seeds, and this part is the fruit. All the other parts, yeah, are many more parts. Yeah? The fruit is only a small part of usually the most plants. And the other parts of the plant are also very healthy and have different kinds of nutrients. So if you only end up eating fruit, or mostly fruit, you get only a small part of the nutrients that are available for us. And consider that we have to eat a huge variety of nutrients. The more the better, the different kinds of, the better, from plants of course. You would be, they would recommend that you eat also vegetables, stems, roots, other leaves, yeah, to get a higher amount of nutrients. So only eating fruit is not the good idea, because of just the relatively narrow range of nutrients you can get. And that's why I have seeds today also, and greens. Here I have basil. It's a fresh basil. I always have basil at home. Yeah, they always have it in the health food shop in these little bunches, and I can grow at home. And I cut them, and then I put them into the smoothie, for example. Today I have the the main part is fruit, and there is a banana here, and a mango, and a banana, 2 or 3 bananas. That is nice to get the texture, a blending. Our food is very good because it is very easy to get the nutrients in the system when they are blended. Yeah. There's nothing wrong about blending. I make that sure, as that's a scientific fact too. And I have blueberries here, and all these ingredients here, these 3 main ingredients, are in this smoothie and this pudding because of the texture. Yeah. The texture is important in creams and smoothies and soups and juices. Is much about texture. You want to have it liquid or runny, not too firm. And so blueberries will gel up when you blend it. Mangoes have a lot of fiber. They make it creamy and a little bit thick. And bananas make it runnier. So that might be balancing each other to have a nice texture for a base of my dish. And here the lemon, it is perfect together with, from the flavor, yeah. 1 lemon without the peel is perfect for blueberries, for bananas, and also very nice with the mango. So the lemon is a wonderful fruit from the flavor to all these that are in there. They all win. Yeah, that flavor wins when you put lemon in there. It heightens the flavor of these ingredients. Many fruits go nicely with lemon because fruit are basically sweet, and with lemon and the sour flavor, that balances each other out to a little bit more contrast, and that we like that. So the original flavor gets stronger. And it's also very nice with basil. So we have here 5 ingredients. 3 are the main ingredients. Fruit, then we have a lemon to make it nicer, to enhance it, and the antioxidant from the lemon also keeps the banana light, so it helps the banana to stay fresh, adds to that addition, to that effect. And the 5th ingredient, the 2nd addition, the basil, gives the green color to this smoothie, and that is what we don't have in the fruit part. We have ingredients here, nutrients in the greens, and not in fruit usually. And this is here chlorophyll. That is a very important, maybe our most important nutrient at all. Chlorophyll is made like the blood. The red blood cells are made exactly the same molecule as chlorophyll, but the red blood cells, they have iron inside that makes them red, whereas the chlorophyll has magnesium inside. And that's what we need. And it's a perfect balance for our diet to eat greens. So green vegetables, leafy greens, are the healthiest vegetables, food for all of us at all in the list. And the 2nd healthiest food for us is herbs and spices. So this is all very healthy here, and fruit also very healthy. So we have here greens and fruit. Let's see what happens. Blend it up. Blender dance. To me this looks very nice. Yeah. Now I have to taste it. Texture seems to be very nice. And now fragrance. The basil has a very strong flavor. The main effect of basil, it's from the mint family. It's a Mediterranean herb family, like basil, mint, oregano, thyme, so many others are in the mint family. We know them for thousands of years. They have been cultivated, and that each of them have a different health benefits. Basil, for example, is to wake you up. There's a chemical substance in the basil that makes the brain wake up, literally. You give that to children in school, you can chew on a basil stem and they wake up. So very nice basil for this effect. I love basil, I always have it home. That's another effect additional to the green that I have, the chlorophyll. That's a lot of things in the basil. So let's try now the flavor of this one. Ah, wow, wow. Very, very nice. It's amazing, you know, all these plants, since I'm eating more plants, going vegan, and then finally raw food, more raw food, I mean with all these fruit, and so I find there's an endless variety of fruit and vegetables and nuts and seeds, and I have all these new experiences, new flavors. Yeah, when I combine, I have never tasted this flavor before, never. The reason why I made this one with the basil and the blueberries was that I like the combination of greens and blueberries, because when you put in greens and blueberries together blended, there's a nice color. This one is a dark purple maybe, but you can even bring it into more darkness with more green, like kale or something. It gets to a beautiful color. Yeah, I mean, you have to try that. I love to try this combination, combining green and blueberries, because this wonderful color that comes out of it. And now I top this breakfast with two kinds of other fruit here. This is strawberries and pomegranate seeds. Both are red, as you can see, and they have a sweet flavor, the strawberry flavor, and the pomegranate seeds, they're also sweet and more crunchy. And they also have this slight bitter tones. Yeah, the pomegranate seeds. This is very nice, and both have seeds. Yeah, the pomegranate seeds, they have the seeds inside. Yeah. The aerials outside is the watery part. The crunchiness is inside in the seed. So the seeds have more protein, more fat, yeah, as fruits. And the strawberry is not exactly a fruit, because the fruit part of the strawberry is outside in these little seeds outside of the strawberry. So this is a different kind of plant. It's not so easy to categorize it. That's not so important, but they both have seeds, the pomegranate and the strawberry. So very interesting. I will show you what it looks like. First, I put this here. Nice, the texture of the blueberry. It turns a little bit into a gel. You see a little bit. If you that depends on the ingredients you combine with the blueberries. It can be more or less gel-like. If the smoothie has too many blueberries, and depending on the other ingredients, you end up with a firm gel that is no longer a smoothie. But I guess this one is pretty nice because of the other ingredients. There are some ways to keep the blueberry in a smoothie from turning into a gel. For example, certain nuts would do that effect. But here, I guess it is not the perfect texture. It's not too gel-like. And then now I put on top other red color, red tones, with this crunchy, juicy, delicious flavors here. That is very nice, and a very simple recipe, a very simple breakfast, one I have never done before. I said it, yeah. And it's really exciting how many different recipes I can make just with some plants, some fruit. Isn't that amazing? And I guess it will be a fantastic experience to eat it. What happens afterwards? Some recipes, I'm so excited about what happens after eating them. Wonderful feelings in the stomach, for example. Very light feeling, or like a cleansing. It takes everything away I don't need. It's so amazing, the experiences eating plants and fruit, combining it with seeds or greens or even nuts. That will be the next step. If you put nuts into these smoothies or breakfasts, it gets heavier, more keeping. But the effect is not bad. Yeah. Some like more light meals. That is wonderful. I also like light meals with only fruit. Yeah. But sometimes it's also nice to have a little bit heavier, more fat, nuts inside, and so nothing wrong about that. But it's just heavier a little bit. That's, of course, it takes a little bit longer time to digest it. But that can have very different effects, and it always depends. Sometimes I like it light. Sometimes a little bit heavier. But you know, the heaviest food you can eat is animal foods. Foods from animals, and that is very bad. It's very bad. Not for us humans who made that mistakes. We have been making it systematically since 10,000 years about, when first humans began to herd animals, yeah? To herd the animals, and that made it possible to have a huge profit, yeah? To make money with it. It has been going on for 10,000 years, and the big part of our profit and wealth today is based on animals, exploitation of animals, or slaves. Roman Empire has built their wealth on trading with slaves. These kind of things are very predominant for our culture, but now we have made big success, of course, and I guess this time now, living in this time, 10 years ago or 6 or 7 years ago, it began to take over. The global movement went global. So global vegan movement began with first medical studies, big time, from Harvard and all these renowned universities. They came out with the first study supporting plant-based diet over animal food, food for animals, and since then the movement really took off. And now maybe the time with all these diseases, the COVID disease and the climate change and all these debates, politicians now beginning to listen to scientists more than before, so it might be a good time to make this change that is necessary of all. And it would end the period of 10,000 times of wrong, of error. It's not about eating animals, and that wasn't a mistake, because everybody eats animals. Humans always eat animals to a small amount. Animals eat animals, that's not the point. But the point is when we begin to do it systematically, when you base the culture, the systematic approach, when you make an industry of it, then it turns into a mistake. Then you're systematically exploiting others. This is the mistake. And people didn't know it. Some did, but not on a larger scale. Now we begin to reverse and to question many of our cultural practices. Yeah, many are based on risking something, to take a huge risk, yeah, for the promise of success. And I guess this is what is basically has to be changed. Living in the flow, like in a meditative state of mind, when the mind is at its natural state, when you smile, when you are happy, when you feel great, this state of mind should be prevailing all the time, every moment. And then you are very unlikely to make any mistakes like this. Yeah? Then you set the right priorities. And these kind of changes are happening now, and maybe we can do something to make it a little bit to encourage this change on the planet. It's time to do it now, I guess. Let's see if it works. I do my best. I make a new video every single day. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up, like my video, comment on my videos on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. You can now subscribe and be vegan on YouTube, and have another recipe every single day. And tell your friends and everybody you know to go vegan now.